Greetings, beautiful viewers. This is Smitten. Welcome to How to Fail at Smite, my original Smite series where I pick up a new god for the first time and poke fun at how I play so that both of us can learn from my mistakes. Episode 17, Xbalanque, Baby Slayer. Joking aside, I know how to say Xbalanque before any of you YouTube monsters comment on it. Remember to stick to the end of the video for talent prioritization and item builds. As you can see, my lane partner for this afternoon will be Hercules, played by someone as I just joined a random solo queue. No beautiful viewers around to my knowledge. We're paired up against Fenrir and Aphrodite and I'm already rather annoyed with their superior sustain. Hercules is eager to get into the action, but I, being a cautious player, stop to let him know that they're baiting us towards their tower. As Aphrodite lays down lovebirds, Fenrir moves forward, leaping towards me and laying into me with Brutalize. Rising Jaguar doesn't avoid Brutalize, so I take the full combo before both of us pop our ults. Some clever footwork on my part saves me from his jaws and the lane resets. But as Aphrodite lays down another flock of birds, I take the hit I could have easily avoided while Fenrir charges. More fancy footwork doesn't do much to save me as Aphrodite lands a kiss, locking me in place for Fenrir to beat on me. Notice that my poison darts didn't hit anything, but the stun still triggered the cooldown on my darts. Chapter 1. That was embarrassing. After a solid catnap and some time to lick my wounds, I think my time would be better spent going for a gank on middle lane. Deciding not to coordinate with Isis, I simply pop my ult and go balls to the wall after Agni. Admire this skill as I line Rising Jaguar up with Agni's dash, taking massive damage because I was unaware that Xbalanque can be CC'd or damaged while in midair. After Agni's meteor, I'm convinced it's time to split, leaving Isis with a that's too bad for consolation. Chapter 2. I can be your hero, baby! Now with that attempt on Agni's life over with, Hercules is in some big trouble in left lane and I return in style, flipping over the heads of my enemies and missing every single auto attack by a wide margin. At least minions are stationary targets. Now Aphrodite moves forward and launches a kiss at me, hitting Herc, while Fenrir enters from stage right, burning his Brutalize, forcing me to retreat under my tower. But he leaps after me, stunning me for the kill, even though he can't have full runes.
This is me being salty. Fenrir, you ain't got no runes?
Well, I guess he had 4 for the Brutalize, got the last hit for his 5th, and then stunned me. Whatever, imbalanced god is imbalanced. Chapter 3. Smitten the Scaredy Kitten. Well, I'm back. Herc has managed to hold down like a boss, and they just pushed the lane, and I think it's time to go for a gold camp for some much-needed catch-up. But Isis's call the enemies are inbound makes me hesitate. Even though this isn't the best time to be going for a gold camp when our lane is being pushed and our tower is low, my indecision doesn't prevent me from following through this time, and I go for gold. Get it? Okay, so maybe I'm bad at jokes too. Back off! I'd like to see you come up with something interesting to say to kill time while past Smitten clears up a boring gold camp. But thankfully with that activity out of the way, I'm back in the lane. And surprisingly, Fenrir and Aphrodite run from me. Once again, I think they're trying to bait me because there's no way that I'm intimidating to them. However, I'd really like to be, so as Aphrodite lands her lovebirds, I go in with the infamous Poison Dart Rising Jaguar combo to deliver some much needed pain on my opponents and help clear the lane. Unfortunately, I only hit Aphrodite, leaving Fenrir primed for this assault as I wasted my only escape mechanic. After his Brutalize, he ults and scoots me up, but Aphro's lovebirds tick away and steal the kill. Chapter 4. Hercules the Bully. Once I'm up, I see that enemy Hercules is out of position and pop my ult, running towards him to hit him hard with my Poison Dart Rising Jaguar combo. He flees into the jungle with me and 2 of my Ogre minions following. He turns around and then starts to trade hits with me. I struggle to keep up with his jukes, and when my ogres return with harpy reinforcements, he starts to run away again. I chase after him with my poison darts ready to put some more hurt on him, but once I realize that I won't be able to keep up with him, I turn my sights on the speed buff. As I kite them back, I see Hercules coming back for me. Hey! Hey! Get off my buff! The damage from my branching bolas isn't doing anything to scare him off, and I start to feel like the kid on the playground who's getting her new toy taken away. After he has effectively stolen my speed buff, I try to retreat to middle lane only to be thrown back at him, and after a few good swings, I make it safely to my tower. When he stops to taunt me, I get a few hits in on him, but once it seems like he wants to tower dive me, I retreat up the lane. I take a second to glance back before I move up to regain some of my stolen morale by killing minions, but I can't even land a shot on them. Ugh. I guess I'll just go heal up now. Stupid Hercules. Chapter 5. 2 deaths in 12 seconds. After being insulted by Hercules, I return to left lane to push up a little bit. But I see that my gold camp is up and I need to get some more farm in, so I turn to dip into the jungle, only to be surprised by Fenrir and Aphrodite. Out of panic, I burn my ult and run towards my base, but I decide that I should at least get some damage with my darts and jaguar. But I'm cut short by the lovebirds. I was impressed that it only took 7 seconds to take me down. Surely no one can beat that record. I come to the aid of Apollo by burning my ult and using my combo against the bully Hercules, but after he picks up the kill, he starts to run away and I chase after him. He's so low, if I could just get 1 or 2 hits off on him, he's out. But when I round the corner and see him just standing there, I know I'm in trouble. And 5 seconds later, I'm dead. I can't believe I got baited. Chapter 6, Lost the team fight, time to ward! I resurrect to a team fight that is happening at our last tower in right lane. A mere second of posturing before our Hades dives in with his ult and it starts the ulti chain reaction. With boulders flying all over the place, I gracefully twist in the air and pull back to the tower to look at the damage. Hades is the first to go down, and is quickly followed by my lane mate. With 2 of my teammates down, the enemy focuses in on Apollo, who uses the moves to get back into tower range. On her tower dives to finish him off, but luckily I get a few auto attacks on him before the tower delivers the final blow. Agni's meteor picked off Apollo, and so it's just me and Isis against my main assailants this game. I use a health pot and tiptoe forward. I have no real options here, but I know that vision of the jungle is important and that wards can win you games. Unfortunately, not wards like this. I barely move out of range of Aphrodite's kiss, but I know that it's only a matter of time until they wipe out our minions and prepare to tower dive us. Me and Isis timidly throw auto attacks at their minions. As the enemy finishes clearing our wave, we see them positioning for the attack. Fenrir bounds in from the rear and jumps behind me. I land my poison darts on the squishies and jaguar back to safety. When I turn to see the mangy mutt in his ult form, instead of retreating when I had the chance, I move forward and he snatches me up. He carries me back to his pack and I get taken out by Aphrodite's back off, which is exactly what I should have done. Chapter 7, Distraction. I have to redeem myself for dying like that, so to make it up to my teammates, I move in on the enemy's right tower while everyone is busy in middle lane. I'm clearly not doing any good in the team fight, so I try my hand at relieving the pressure, when the absence of enemy portraits on my minimap tells me that it's time to go, so I tipped it back behind their tower only to be interrupted by the archers. Stupid minions, I grumble to myself as I slowly run back down the lane to find an archer-free zone to back in. Finally, I turn the corner and hidden amongst the brush, I start to recall again. I can finally finish my executioner. Oh, what? Hercules scares me into a panic and I trigger my ult so I can start my escape, only to be tossed back into their range. I won't be caught again, and I turn the corner and flee down the lane using my combo to help me escape. I watch my minimap and see them getting closer. Thankfully, Herc's driving strike sends me closer to my tower. If I could just keep running. No! I was so close! I wanted to live! Chapter 8. Really? Was that necessary? We are back, and amidst the final showdown, the enemy team have picked up Fire Giant, taken out all of my Phoenix, and taken out the rest of my team. It's time to do what I can with what I have. I feel safe here at our spawning point, but as Hercules runs up to me, I try to move out of range for his Earthbreaker, but he lands it and drives me back further away from the comfort of the fountain. His whole team focuses in on me as Fenrir leaps in and takes me out once again for the deicide. I watch my Minotaur die to one last meteor from Agni and show how salty I am at being pulled out of my fountain. But as it turns out, what I thought was BM was actually just a few of my viewers having their fun. No harm in that. A good game to my allies and a good game and well played to the enemy team, who did a great job of making sure they cut me off early. By counter-jungling, ganking, and stellar coordination, they snowballed to a win. Since I recorded this game, I have played Xbalanque several times in Assault and Conquest modes and love him. As long as you stay on top of your farm and keep yourself well positioned, you can easily dominate your opponents. I can't wait to get into another game with him. And now for the juicy bits. Xbalanque's passive is Dead of Night, the polar opposite of Bastet. Instead of focusing on dying, he focuses on murdering fools. For each enemy god he kills, to a max of 6, he gets a stacking permanent physical power bonus of 5, to a max of 30 for all of my American friends who don't do math. His first ability is Branching Bullet, applying a damage bonus to his basic attack of 10 to 50 physical damage and splits to hit 2 additional targets for 30% of the damage, minus on-hit effects. But it costs 11 to 19 mana per shot. Throw a point into this first and max it either second or first depending on how effective you are at landing basic attacks. His second ability is Poison Darts. He fires 10 darts in a cone in front of him, dealing 30 to 110 damage per dart, scaled by 40% of his physical power, and applying a poison that does 10 to 30 poison damage, scaled by 20% of his physical power, ticking 6 times and applying a 4 to 20% slow over 3 seconds. Level this third and max it third. His third ability, Rising Jaguar, is a dash, not a jump. It deals 80 to 280 physical damage, scaled by 20% of his physical power. If used on a poisoned opponent, this ability deals 30% more damage. Level this second as it's your best escape, and land it after poison darts to maximize your damage. max this ability second, or first if you're not on top of landing your basic attacks. Be wary though, you can be stunned or CC'd during the dash and you'll lose the cooldown even if you don't apply any damage. His ultimate, Darkest of Nights, is a global ability affecting all enemy players for 3 seconds. It shrouds them in darkness, restricting their vision while also increasing Xbalanque's range on his basic attacks by 40 feet while increasing his movement speed by 20 to 60%. If enemies are moving when the 3 seconds is up, they are stunned for 1.5 seconds. Seeing as how the only thing that scales with this ability is the movement speed, throw a point in at level 5 and max it last. For an item build, start with Death's Toll and Warrior's Tabby. Once your boots are completed, pick up Devourer's Gloves to start the stacks, and then pick up Executioner for the attack speed and penetration. Follow that up with Deathbringer and your core build is done. From this point on, you have options. You can pick up Transcendence to compensate for the mana cost of his branching bolas, Titan's Bane if your opponents are really stacking physical power, or Rage for additional critical strike chance. For defensive items, you can pick up Void Blade for physical defense without sacrificing much damage, or hide a Nemean Lion. For magical damage, Bulwark of Hope is a solid choice for a hefty health bonus and a 1-second shield, or Magi's Blessing if you're dealing with high burst abilities like Ao Kuang's ultimate. And so concludes the guide on Xbalanque. If we tickled your fancy, make sure to rate and subscribe for upcoming videos. You can also come hang out with us on Facebook and Twitter. And don't forget to follow us on Twitch to see us streaming live. Links in the description. Feel free to leave your suggestions on how to play this god as well as any feedback you have for us in the comment section below. Thanks for watching, I'm Smitten, and I'll see you next time.
Good game. Bye.
This is me being salty. Fenrir, you don't have any runes.
You ain't got no runes. Everybody knows that whenever you're salty, you speak Ebonics.